Hey everyone, welcome. In a close vote, chat has chosen M21, so I have chosen traditional. We're going to jump into best of three again here, and maybe if there's time, we'll draft some Dominaria later, so check for that tomorrow, YouTube friends. If we did some Dominaria, it should appear after this one. But we are closing in on completing our collection of M21 rares. We made some progress last time. We're busting some packs. I don't know the exact number. One draft ago, we were about 20 rares away from completion. So I think we're closing in on 4x of M21, which is interesting. I want to point out that we kind of abandoned rare drafting on this account because we have the gems to support whatever play we want. So rare drafting for gems is no longer a priority for an account that has more gems than it can spend anyway. So I haven't really been modeling rare drafting, but I was curious if it would strongly affect our ability to make 4x. And it looks like we're going to make it to 4x pretty solidly despite not rare drafting. And in fact, despite not playing a ton of this, like we've been doing other stuff than M21. So I'm happy that we're still close to completion there. If you're close to completion to M21 in paper, though, I know how you can finish it off. I know you do too. CardKingdom.com. That's my sponsor. I love them. They have all sorts of magical cards for your physical tabletop game and every accoutrement you would need for that experience, except for friends. Hopefully you have some loved ones you are sheltering in place with, or riding out the pandemic, behaving appropriately within the confines of this world we're in right now. And if you need some extra paper action to entertain yourselves while we wait for the world to start back up again, I would like you to give Card Kingdom a chance at your business. If you let them have it, I think you'll see why I recommend them every day so strongly. They're pretty great. And Double Masters is out. If you want some of that action, check in on that. But I'm just going to thank Card Kingdom and confirm the purchase here. I can probably still talk about Card Kingdom. Again, often best of three. The queue, it takes a bit, but we've been lucky. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like this was a really slow queue, but we've been pretty fortunate a couple days in a row here. I will redeem that meme when I'm in the right view. What have we got? A land in the rare slot we're almost certainly not going to take. Devotee is a fine black card, but we don't want to start out with a black card. I could take Wizard, Goblin Wizard, and Wizardry and try to get into red-blue goblins, wheel this opt. I just was talking about how I never seem to get into this deck because I don't prioritize it quite highly enough, so we could do that. But that's, you know, so I end up taking cards like Basri's Acolyte over Goblin Wizardry, which I think is a better card in the set. Houndmaster could be a bold pick one if we wanted to stake out that claim, but I would rather start with the Acolyte, look actually green, red, green, white, or white, red, and maybe the Houndmaster wheels. Possibly. Devotee is a fine pick, Jinx, but I just think Acolyte is actually just better in the format. So, it's not even about black being, quote, the worst or whatever. It's about this just being so good to me. Siege Striker could follow that up reasonably. Haven't done Blue-White Skies in a bit with this format, but this is actually a reasonable second pick. 2/2 flyer for 2 that can get acolyted on 4 is reasonable. We can also just take a Siege Striker and stick to white, but I think this is like the strongest aggressive card here. It's just not a good blocker, right? It for against a lot of opponents, this effectively doesn't block. So that's a thing to consider. Usually I'm trying to pick up 2s that give us defense, but I'll take it here. Then we get Solidarity or Swift Response. If we want to stay on the white path, there's a Roaming Ghostlight that sticks to the Sky Plan. Warded Battlements goes really well in the blue-white deck, but we would try to wheel that. I'm looking at Solidarity and Swift Response. But if we can, if we can put these on an Air Force, that's a real deal. Swift Response is good, and I would like them. This does something. We want removal, and we're going to try. Hopefully, I don't end up at the end of the draft going, I didn't find any removal. But Solidarity, I think, is good enough to pass the removal on. It's like it's an engine. It's a build around. It's a purpose for a deck. Rousing Reed or Invigorating Surge, if we want to pivot towards green. Solidarity plus Acolyte towards a green-white counters deck is quite excellent. So you could make a strong argument for hedging towards the green plan. Rousing Reed is my pick if we want to stick to our two colors. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, I think that's a good read. DG, no pun intended. That Reed's the better card. Green-white's the better deck. But yeah, let's take the Reed. I think the fact we have a good blue card already puts this over the top. And yeah, Reed on the Acolyte is nice, right? There's a dub that I refuse to take at this point in the draft. I'd rather grab a Glide Master, or again, even, we're getting farther and farther from finding our way into green here, but Uprising as a somewhat payoff. But generally, if I'm taking a 4-power Matter card, I do want the red. So yeah, let's just take Glide Master. Temple here. Let's see. Yeah, we only have 2 or 4 temples. We could take a temple just to help complete our set, even though we don't need it for constructed. Protege is fine. Cur in case we end up red. Like, this is enough red that I'm kind of interested in that. Yeah, we can take it for gems, for collection building, and for possible play, and for half on color scry. None of this stuff is super. The opportunity cost for taking the rare here is pretty low. Here's a battlements. It's not that battlements. Slag here says maybe we should consider red, but I still just want battlements. I think we're pretty we got 3 blue cards and 2 white cards we really like. So I could see us splashing some red if we get some of the premium single red removal spells, but I'm not going to grab a slag here over something that actually does work fine in this archetype. This is the place for battlements, and we might even wheel one on pick 9, I think, or pick 10. Finishing blow, if we had been black, but just a larcenist here is fine too. You could make an argument for short sword, which does some nice stuff on flyers, but I'm going to start with the creatures, and we'll take short swords when they fall in our lap. Wizardry. I'll take the Wizardry. I suppose it's possible we abandon white for Wizardry. We got the blue start there. Nothing else to take except a Blooming Sands in case of splashing green or moving into green. I'm going to take Wizardry. Another Glide Master. Here's a land that could help us splash some red along with the temple. So I think we actually take Swiftwater Cliffs and know that, we don't even, not that we'd splash Wizardry unless some other synergies really worked out, but I do like taking the Swiftwater here over another Glide Master. Yeah, I suppose we'll take Frantic Inventory. I've not found the density of these yet to run them, but maybe this will be the time. I suppose if we end up aggro, I would grudgingly play a Tome Anima before grudgingly playing a Wish Coin, although if you're winning in the air, clogging the ground with crabs isn't the worst. Steed for possible go wide. White really dried up. We went Acolyte into an early Solidarity, and then White kind of disappeared. So let's keep an eye out for an off-ramp onto red here. I don't see it out of this pack. We've got Watchdog as a reasonable white card, but we could also just get this Flash Bear. I mean, it doesn't really do anything but be a Flash Bear, but maybe Flash Bear is a little bit better than Doggy. Yeah, the Houndmasters did not wheel. Not that we expected it to. Take a Capture Sphere. Gosh, first pick Capture Sphere just makes me puke. I'm going to reserve that. I like the rare a little bit better than the Doggy. And don't see anything else. I guess it's just that, yeah. I didn't look to see our count. Stormwing Entity. I mean, we'll play this in any blue deck, but if we did pivot back towards the red-blue, that would be fine. But Entity, Ob. Red-blue, anybody? Look at this. I don't know. White has not been there. So I'm starting to feel like we should pivot, although maybe we should pivot to Dragonfire and see if the Overload comes back. This is getting interesting, and now we got decision time, because we have a swift response, excellent piece of removal for the white direction, opt, which is really whatever, unless we're making Goblin Wizardries 5/5s or whatever. So I think I'm going to go with the opt based on what the table has been telling us. And because I do kind of want to end up in this deck if we can get there. I mean, the white has not been there, and this is fine, but not amazing. Hey, Blade Fury, welcome, Raiders. We have lands, but you don't want to be that. You know, I don't know. Mashing together a Skies deck and a Spells deck doesn't seem like the best to me, but I'm going to take Opt here. Palladium Mirror isn't doing what we want. Unfortunately, it's a good card. Neither is this Sanctum. This is a rough pack. I wish there was more quality here, given how early in the pack it is. And I suppose we're forced into the it's either Enforcer or the second Glide Master. Glide Master may be more reliably played, but also is pretty weak. You say we need to put our foot down about white. I don't know about this pack. Like, I'm willing to still hedge here and not put my foot down yet. Some nice green coming around here. And then Watchdog or Thrill saying, which are we? I think I'm going to take the Thrill and try to be red, blue. But I am getting spread here. I admit it. If I don't watch out, I'm going to train wreck. Get too spread. And because the Doggy's fine here, right, for that. And we only have, I guess we only have a little bit. I changed my mind. I'm going to take the Doggy because we only have Dragonfire and Wizardry. And we could splash the Dragonfire. Of course, now we get a couple of excellent picks for the red. So we are still getting pulled around, but I'm still going to take Augur. Again, I could consider splashing Augur and Dragonfire in a deck like this. Lofty Denial is also fine, yeah. I'm going to keep picking up cards in our secondary colors as we try to figure out which one we really are. Maybe Arsonist is okay for that. Building up our red to be a main color. I mean, I don't love this card, right? So that's not a real pull. Yeah, Battalion. I'm gonna take Arsonist, though. Pulled, pulled, pulled. Where are we going? All right, here's a Thrill. Don't think we're running this main or the Sanctum. Burn Bright. If we end up with another Wizardry or two, Burn Bright seems playable. Reed doesn't seem good, although this could be a game-winning bounce when you're aggro, but I'd rather, if we're going to win the game, cast a game-winning spell, let's make it a 3-drop. This is interesting. We also have Tranquil Cove that could help with our mana. I don't think, like, if we had sacrifice stuff going on, I'd be interested in the Greed, but I actually want the Cove to help us with splashing a color here, which I think we're going to need to do, or want to do now with those. Yeah, you like tampering over Burn Bright as a finishing spell. That's fair. I don't really like either, and hoping we don't play either. Lofty Denial last is a good sign for us. If you would draw a card, except the first one you draw on each of your draw steps, draw 2 instead. Maybe a little win more for what we're up to, and we just want a Magmut. I think Magmut really starts to... you know, I'm moving this white out, and of course I'm going to get, like, Lyra passed to me or something. But I think this is where I'm now headed. You want that dragon here? I think we want Mutt over dragon. If the Punisher comes around, I'll take it, sure. But I like Mutt here. Bolt Hound or Elder. Let's go Elder. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, Bolt Hound would be fine in this deck too, but it's a 2-drop and we're trying to do prowessy things. Well, the white's not that there either, so let's get the blue there and then see what makes sense. But I haven't loved where the white or the red has fully ended up. Another Lofty Denial. Chorister, if we still... I mean, there's no no red here at all, so either we're taking a blue card or reconsidering our white and red. Jinx likes the Reed. I really don't like this card, Jinx. I hated this card when it was bounce 3 things. Now it's bounce 2 things? No. I don't want that. This is the Reed I want. And this will come around, as will this. So I'm going to take the Chorister, and then we'll take whichever of these wants to be left for us. Not that I've seen, Jinx. Not that I've seen. White seems more open, but is our white worth chasing? Yeah, I told you I'd bring this all back in, right? Here we are. I can bring the Steed in, but we can just remember that one. I just want a Cur. Yeah, I don't think the white's that good. Scanner here doesn't do that much, but I don't want another Glide Master. I'd rather pick up a Scanner. Goes in any deck. Anything we end up with, we'll run the Scanner. Capture Sphere is removal in our known for sure color, but we also have a Siege Striker we could get to focus some stuff on that. I like the Sphere, though. Let's get some removal. We're a little low on removal, and we know we're playing blue. Those who've watched me a long time know I do not love Capture Sphere, but I will run it when you need to. Now we've got Larcenist versus Turn to Slag. Again, I think we go for some more removal. I wish I could teach Twitch the word slag as not offensive. The flyer, or we already, I don't like too many Glide Masters. They do not work well in multiples, and we already have one. And whereas Kerr and Glide Master don't work well in multiples. And now I will take a reed and put it in the sideboard. And if we have to play it, we will, but I don't think we will. Maybe bring it out of the board if we think that's going to win us a longer game. I'll take a Glide Master over the second one for sure. Now that Solar Mond, I'm going to deny. No need to show me why they're filtering slag. Lofty Denial here. This is why I wasn't keen on all these Glide Masters. They're not hard to get. Let's just say I do not regret passing any Glide Masters. Well, I'll take some... I mean, is there a world we play this? I guess it's our colors, so I'll take it, but hopefully we never play that. Grind for 60. Let's see, we're on the 12th. All right, then. Looks like we're red. White's not doing enough. Wouldn't you agree? Ah, Jinx. Jinx is always willing to tell me about the best case scenario. If you want to know the best case scenario about a card, ask Jinx. Jinx is all over the best a card can possibly be. I do not. That is a lie. And I will time you out. Best case scenario mentality about a 3-drop looter? It loots, Jinx. Its floor is that it's a 3-drop looter. You sit down. We're cutting the white, so we'll just leave the cliffs. Splash Solidarity. Well, let's look at our creature count. We only have 14 creatures, and I don't want to play 4 Glide Masters. I don't know if this is a... I don't think we're helped by splashing here. I'm fine if we're at a different place in our evaluation of the Stitcher, but I refuse to hear someone tell me that I'm being best case scenario mentality about the Stitcher. That is some serious nonsense. No, we were going to play, like, it was an interesting choice of Watchdog versus Niambi. I consider Niambi just a flash. You're trading 1 point of toughness and vigilance for flash. Yeah, oh, we want this Fuhrer out. So here's the ugly red. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red cards. If we played white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could bring in a Reed or a Glide Master, or 8. So we do have a clean swap. You want to look at both? Yeah, we can also look at instant sorcery count. We have 8 total instants and sorceries in this build. And then, yeah, white does not have the removal in it, right? So red gives us Scorching, Slag, and to a lesser extent, Arsonist. So let's, okay, take a good look at this. And then let's see what the world looks like when we do it this way. And I think Steed in this case. And then we end up with 16 creatures. Obviously, we changed the lands. Don't worry about the lands. But I'm curious, now that you've seen... Yeah, it feels like red's a little better, right? But this isn't... They're close. I mean, there's some stuff going on here for sure. But I think I'm going to try the red to start. No splash. And we'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll try the white build for science at some point. Yeah, switch it up. So white or red. In the pink. Because we didn't know if we were white or red. I don't know, Harder. Go look up in the pink. Just means healthy. All right. 17 lands is a lot, actually, for this. We do have Thrill, though. So I'm going to assume we can pitch some lands with Thrill. You can go... I know what you're talking about. In the pink is a phrase meaning healthy. No, in limited, it actually, like, this is legit system limited, which it remembers. It gives you sideboard options, but you could say it's generational. You could go look it up. I don't think we need to put this in the sideboard, right? We just have it in limited. We just have the sideboard. Sorry, Otter. I can't take jokes. Just defending my honor. Well, you all can refuse to acknowledge old ones. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep it at 17. And I believe... Oh, we have a... I'm going to reject Timno since I missed it. We're just going to go with these lands today. And here's a kick it meme.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
I have 2 kids. And we're playing Frantic Inventory with only 1. Not our best moment, but at least we have some prowess. Maybe that's supposed to be another Glide Master? I don't know. Drafted the hard way and as a result have some weak low end. Let's start with the mutt though. Oh yeah, I was working on that and then got distracted. Oh, it's fine. I just didn't prioritize them. It's one toughness, so it dies to everything, and they're almost useless in multiple. I mean, they don't stack, right? You have one, and you have that ability. So every Glide Master after your first is a 2/1 for 2, which is kind of weak. Blackguard is going to get the trade. We'll take it. And drop Arsonist and Glide Master. They are. I mean, the Pikers are okay in this format. I don't know what question I'm answering here. Somebody said, why don't you like Glide Master? And I never said I didn't. I said I don't like a fourth. Yes, if you have to play, if that's what you have, you play your 2-drops. But there are better 2-drops than this. There are way better 2-drops than the fourth Glide Master. And there's way better 2-drops than the first Prismite. That's what I'm saying. You do what you must. You do what you must. But it's not premium. Let's see. I guess we should inventory now in case we get a 2-drop we want to play. Nope. The first Glide Master is great. The fourth Glide Master is weak. Don't know how much clearer I could be. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Devotee. We could Scorch it and still have Glide Master mana, but we're not going to do anything with it. We could use all our mana and slag it, but we should just save the 5 damage for something that's actually higher toughness. So I'm just going to Dragonfire the Devotee while we can, and pass. Yeah, slag is up, but I don't want to use it. Even though it maxes our mana, we should save it for something tougher. Well, it's not tougher, but likely to eat a slag. Wow, it's even here. I'll allow your comment, True, to show you that it's also it's onto you with the whole space in between your awful term. Yeah, we got to keep land. We're looting and stuff. Thank you. We don't need to play any more lands right now. Sorry, Oppo. I'm here. Hey, look, it's a very bad 2-drop given this one. It's about as weak as a Piker is as weak as a 2-drop as you're willing to play, right? And you are willing to play them in this format, especially. Oh no! Hey, the Glide Master just got a lot better. Good news, everybody. Pegasus doing a lot of work against us. Drop Tome Anima to trade with that Glutton. Let's see. We can start doing... Where is this a spirit? Okay, 2 spirits, so we can do this, but we'll do that on defense. So yeah, we can tap. Well, do we want to threaten a trade, or do we want to use this as tapping? I mean, yes, we can tap, but then what are we getting out of that? I don't know if it's better to actually start doing our tapping thing or just offer this trade. Yeah, it prevents lifelink. So that's the stay the course. I think we use it as a tapper. Right now, these two are tapping a Glutton that could be traded with. My concern is that we trade for the Glutton, and then Oppo drops something much more in need of us tapping. So we can always engage that plan. I can always just decline to tap and let it attack, but my hesitance is based on that. And now with the Chorister Pump, that's super scary. Send the Arsonist to what end? To be eaten by a Chorister? Or you want me to fly it? I mean, I don't know what does this do? That doesn't make sense. I mean, even the Pegasus could eat it, Chorister aside. So anyway, I'm gonna pass though. And now, really, we may need to sit here tapping the Chorister. Like, I suppose we still make him pump. Like, if they want to use the whole turn to get 4 lifelink, that's better than just letting him get it for free. So I'm still gonna do the tapping game. And we can accept some Chorister hits here if it's what Oppo's going to use their whole turn on. Also, it taps him out. So if we find a way to kill the Arsonist, we could then kill the Chorister. I don't think we have any I don't know how we would kill our own our own Arsonist, though. I'm looking to see if there's any way. Nah, not really. We need it to die naturally, so no trixies there. I don't think we need to do that yet. That's because the other thing is they don't have to do that. Freighter is saying we could double block and trade. Not if they put all the damage on the Glide Master. Then we just lose the Glide Master, and that's it, you know. So rules say it might work. A lot of players don't even know that trick, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to assume they know the rules. Yeah, still nothing I want to do here. There is an auto assign. Like I have auto assign combat damage off specifically so that I can decide not to kill an Arsonist when I don't want to. All right, scanner's interesting. And interesting that Oppo decided not to go with the Chorister route this time. Let's see, I don't know if we have double blue or double red. We have Stormwing Entity, a double blue, but nothing else. And if we get Stormwing Entity, we're not casting it anyway, so this is fine. If you turn off auto-assign combat damage, will it let you assign damage if your Death Toucher gets double blocked? Well, it's smart about that. I mean, it knows that you only want to put 1 point of Death Touch on any given creature. So if you want to do something besides that, sure, but you shouldn't need to. Let's do this now in case of 2-drop that we want to play. I'm going to pitch the mountain, keep the island available. Oh, good, great. Let's see, CBL. Oh, let me. It looks like it's acting weird. Is it working now? It was being weird for a second. Hold on. I'll just restart it, make sure. That's some trouble. So, interesting. Chorister suited up, but not with 5 yet. Gonna have to see how that goes. I guess we can tap some stuff. Let's tap a flyer and we can at least send in the scanner. 25 turns from now, this scanner is going to win it for us. Flying prowess isn't. Oh, I thought this maybe had flash. Nope, but we do get to scry. We'll start with a sky scanner attack though. Yes! Taste it! I gotta play fast. I'm gonna lose all my clock in game 1 here. Is it a spirit? It's not a spirit, it's an elemental. I did not even think about the fact that Tome Anima gave us extras. Ooh, this is both nice. How about we'll start with the Augur and get rid of those lands, and then Capture Sphere. Or we can just start with Capture Sphere and capture the Chorister. I like that actually. Then Augur. You want Augur top, but like, does it matter? I mean, let's go Capture Sphere and pin down this this scary Chorister, and then get on with the Augur. Although I guess we get both. Yeah, if we get Augur, well, no, because I only have 7. So I don't want to play these, I want to pitch them. So I'm going to do it this order. Yeah, 8 mana, then I think you'd be absolutely correct. But at 7, we're going to do it this way. Also nice that this Crypt Lurker is coming out before we Capture Sphere, or else... I mean, they're going to get some value anyway, but the Crypt Lurker would be extra value. Now that we don't have to. I mean, I wasn't going to decide on what to do about the Chorister till we made it to combat. By going with Crypt Lurker pre, we don't even need to worry about it. I'm just going to pass. Like, we could tap the 4/3, sure, but if they want to attack with it, that's fine too. So I'm going to see if they want to attack with the 4/3. Yeah, they don't anyway. So now we'll go ahead and tap the Glutton, because we're pinning down the Chorister. Thank you for the host, Magic. Do we need to do this now? We can, I like sending in the entity, and then maybe we'll cast this mid-combat to pump the entity. Yeah, we can try to waste their mana, except we have to capture sphere before it attacks, and we're not going to get them to waste their mana with capture sphere before combat, right? Well, if it's feet, what is that going to do? It's going to make a 2/4, which doesn't stop the entity anyway. Yeah, it could be swift. Make him have it, etc. Yeah, Arsonist is, you're right. I've been not bothering with Arsonist, but whenever Oppo taps down below Chorister Pump, we can consider sending in the Arsonist. But I just figured we were going to sphere that thing, and I'm going to do that now. Get the prowess. All right, we got them back down to their starting life total. Keeping the lands because we have Augur on top to pitch the lands too. And I like tapping the Glutton here. Continuing to press our Stormwing advantage until they do something about it. Yeah, this is the best Tome Animan has ever been for me in this format. Lofty is nice. Rousing Reed. We could launch something like our Tome Enema, but I'd rather just wait and Rousing Reed the Augur next turn and keep up Lofty Denial here. We'll keep this pair back on tapping D while we try to win with Entity and Augur in the air. Countering anything we possibly can with a 4-mana tax here. I'm at 16. Oppo's at 25. Yep, gotta watch my clock. Chatty Ryan. We'll deny that. No reason to play the Elder first here. Let's start with a read on the Augur. Pitch the island and 2-spell after combat. Almost want to send the scanner and offer them the Pegasus block if they want it for 10 damage, but I will just keep it with the obvious right now. And sweepers. I forget the sweeper state of M21. I remember there not really being one. Trying to decide. Yeah, Massacre Worm. I guess we hold. Like, these are gonna. I'm gonna play around Massacre Worm. I think that's correct. If it's like the only. Yeah, -2/-2. All right. Oppo's like, I don't have Massacre Worm. Got to think about that stuff, though. That's the spot where we were looking very good, and so you start asking yourself, how do we lose this? You know, and figuring out those cards that would punish us and cause us to lose the game are some of the little edges you can try to keep in mind. Flyers was annoying. That flyer was annoying, but not much else. I guess there was the other one. There we go. Let's see. We saw Gaggle Master. Didn't see a ton of flyers, though, really. I'm more inclined to let this ride. Could try to read the tides, since it's not, we're not under huge pressure. I don't want read the tides against Boros or whatever, but I'm willing to let Jinx show us how this card works in a slower matchup context. But still not sure about that. But let's take it over the Frantic Inventory, which is really a 2-mana cycler. I'll give a 6 mana does something a little better over a 2-mana cycler. And I gotta play promptly here. I don't want to lose on time. This looks fine though. I'm gonna go Glide Master on 2, counter anything we can on 3, if possible with Denial. And find land. Oh, we got the land, and then we have Capture on 4. Nice curve out here, basically. Reed will go on something. They get a free pass here, and then we have to hope they go for a 4-drop on 4 for Lofty Denial to work. Could also just go Rousing Reed if we didn't want to risk that. I could also offer a trade here, but I'm going to say no. I'll wait and maybe even attack back, and I like having Lofty Denial up when I do some sort of block. On the draw is hurting us here. Obviously on the play, we're in a much better spot. We've countered a Devotee, and that would be great. As it is, now our answer to a Devotee is like this Capture Sphere, which is not good because it leaves stuff on the board. I am going to pass with counter up and consider the Denial. The trouble is, if it's like Feat of Resistance on a block, we can't deny it anyway. Now I would, because if it's something like Feat, we would actually be able to counter it. But they don't want to do that. All right. Opt is interesting. We have Capture Sphere. If we weren't going to block anyway, wouldn't it have been better to play? Yeah, maybe. I tend to gravitate towards building out my board first. It's possible we should have held Lofty Denial to counter whatever they do on 3. I'd have to think about that later. Yeah, we probably want. Oh yeah, we can go Opt Entity. Thank you. Yeah. I was forgetting about the discount. So let's do that. Opt Entity. I thought this is a 5-drop, to be honest. And yeah, drop that. Extra Scryan. Go away lands. Great Scries. Look at what we just put on the bottom. We just Ancestraled. Sneaky Ancestral Recall. Offering up the Stormwing with only 2 black mana up could be Death Touch. If +1/+1 Death Touch would be bad, and we don't have the Denial for it, so I'm just gonna let it go. I assume that's what we're playing around now. Maybe I block with the Glide Master and make him use it on that. Yeah, it could be Grasp. Good call. Good call. If so, Entity's dead anyway. I'm just gonna say no blocks. Yeah, we don't want to. If we trade Doggy, they get a free upgrade, so that's no good for us. I like the idea of forcing the hand, but it's too easy for them to just accept it. They just accept the block and make a 3/2. And all we've done is let a creature die to upgrade their dog from vigilance to extra power. So I didn't like that. We're going to play our lands, though. It's 3 mana? No, it's not. Okay, back to this. I like leaving up the denial. What if we go Rousing Reed and then keep up Lofty Denial? Maybe we want it on the Cur. I think I like Reed. Although we did worry about Grasp mana, right? Maybe I should hold off on the Reed till we understand whether there's Grasp at work here. I'm actually going to start with an attack. Send in the entity. You say no attacks, leave up Lofty. I like attacks and leave. We can go Cur Lofty. Cur threatens a pump on like the battalion and stuff. Yeah, the clock is for game 3 as well. I like that Cur threatens a pump, and we also have the threat of the denial. Okay, so 4/3. Yeah, that's interesting, Jinx. But we can go like now. We could double block. Hold on. What if we double block here? Yeah, let's block the Devotee. Block the Devotee with both, and right now it's a 1-for-1. They need to do something to save, and we have the denial. And if it's the 1 mana, we can't deny it, but we'll try. Yeah, unfortunately, it was the 1 mana spell that we could not deny, but we can still pump and trade, right? So we just let that happen since we can't counter it, but we still get the pump. And we get very importantly, a dead Devotee. Now we're going to have to stay back on D, but I like, we have Goblin Wizardry, Denial. Gotta just stay back on D here. Basically everything we have is instant speed anyway, except for the Reed, which we don't want to cast right now. And with nothing happening before combat and us not wanting to make a big battalion, I like going ahead and sphering the battalion. Okay, good. Them not attacking there is excellent news for us. But I'm going to continue to wait on the Reed, and we're going to hold up Wizardry plus Denial now. And still stay back on D at 8. That is going to land, but they need to gain 3 or more, so that's not going to happen too often. We let that happen. We could, like, double Lofty it, but I don't think that's worth double Lofty. Now, let's see if they come up with something here to cast. That would be much better. Nope. We'll go Wizardry, though. Just gotta win in 2. No big deal. All right, here's Jinx's big moment. Do we like the double bounce? I think so. We could draw 3, but double bounce sets him back. I'm gonna draw 3. Do you like the double bounce, or do you just like... Because we just Rousing Reed and keep Denial up, right? But it does outright kill something. All right. Still didn't love that, though. It killed a flyer, I guess. That wasn't great for 6 mana. Snuck some stuff in on us. Now we can deny again. it's looking troubling. Maybe I should scoop and try to win the third game, but I think we go... Now I think we got to keep the lofty up here. And probably just need to block all three. We can't sit here and take Blood Glutton damage forever. So even though we lose our awesome wizards, we got to try this. And that's all right. We get to lofty that. And actually, one of our gobos survives. So that's handy. But I do have to play very quickly and figure out if we can win right now or whether I need to scoop this. I got a long way to go, and I might need to scoop and just try to win game 3, sadly. But if we're in a decent situation here after this read, we might have to try and make this work. And I think we are basically in a decent sitch. You like Mutton Lofty? I don't think we're countering much with Lofty from here is the problem. What do you think we're going to get with Lofty? I mean, I guess if they could play a 4 or 5, we could still snap it off. That's fair. But again, playing fast here. I should scoop or play fast. So, and again, I'm attacking because we need to win. I need to get him from 17 to 0. If I can't do it quickly, I should just be scooping this anyway. So I'm going to be pretty aggro. Do we know they have it in hand? I mean... All right, now I'm going to scoop so we have a chance. We could change it up and get a little more aggro with the white build, surprise them a little. I think white's a little more aggro. I don't know if this is fancy play, but I think I want to try the white build because I do think it's legit faster. Best of 3. I just don't know if it is actually faster or not. And then, oh, we could have been playing this temple in the. I don't think I want temple in the blue white, but that looks okay. Do we want to splash any red? We can also run these and like splash a Scorching. Even splash an Augur. Like, maybe that's fancy. Slag I'm not running as a splash. That's a double red. That seems wrong, but we could and actually I'm not gonna do this splash plan. I'm just gonna be straight 2-color. I want to curve out, and I don't want to splash to trip that up. Easy mulligan. All right, well, sometimes Magic says you don't get to play. All right, well, so much for hustling to not lose on clock. Yeah, opt maybe it was a reason to keep the 6er, but still didn't like it. You gotta mull this. All right, we got this. Solidarity gone, and Capture Sphere gone, and Lofty Denial gone, and we go Elder, Larcenist, and win. Yeah, I probably should have kept the 6. I was being, but I'm a little timer panicked here. Not playing my best. I'll prove you wrong, Croakies. Would love to shove this in your face. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get to, though. Yeah, I can blame mulligans, but I think I made a mulligan mistake, so, you know. Hard to be guilt-free here. Yep, that's me about to lose to a light of promise. I'd like to think I'm losing to something else, though. Let's move on. It was not over 2 turns ago, Croakies. It was not. It was over, like, this turn or the turn before. You GG'd way too early. And by way, I mean like a turn early. Bummer. Couple of interesting games and then a very uninteresting one. Nice split. Couple pieces of removal. One of the weaker cards in our deck. But no action until 4 unless we draw it. We are on the play, though. Croaky says too slow. Of course, it depends on the deck. It might be too slow. It's to definitively say too slow is incorrect. It might be too slow. I will mulligan, but if we end up against a control, there's too much aggro in the format to keep this. But of course, hindsight will be what it is, and we may find that Oppo is doing something that we want to keep. But I like mulliganing here. Yeah, this is better. We're gonna keep, and what do we want to ditch? We've got 3 pieces of removal and 2 pieces of dig yourself out of this. So I guess slag, right? Yeah. We got 2 pieces of removal. We'll get rid of the hardest, most expensive one and use Opt and Thrill to find us our mana to stay alive here. Sphere slag is correct, but Sphere is just more castable. I think so. I mean, we don't need them, but yes, I think we'll be very happy to have kept Opt and Thrill on a mulligan. And we'll keep that land. And probably ditch a mountain to Thrill at the end of this turn even. Since we found a couple of lands, we are likely to be okay. No counter magic here, or I wouldn't risk the additional cost clause. I probably should have left up Mountain to threaten Shock, although we wouldn't have had the pauses to support it. I think I cast Dragonfire without giving you a meme last game, or last match. How terrible of me. Here, you get extra. I mean, I'll say no blocks. We've got a Dragonfire for that, and I'm happy to race in the meantime. Croakies would block. Fair block there. Especially now. Didn't find anything for 4 besides this sphere. No pump, so I'm not going to Dragonfire it. We're going to see what they... If they had gone for the pump, I would have scorched it. But that makes me want to see here. And yeah, so let's exile this Death Bloom. Yeah, it would have been a trade even with pump. Block there would have been a fine... You know, if you chose to block there, I understand. That's one of the trickier, subtle, ongoing, regular decisions in Magic is whether you're in a trading place or whether you're in a racing place, whether you're looking to exchange creature resources with your opponent or not. Very good response from Oppo. It undid our everything about that play. So, like, that subtly, that's a game-losing play for us right there. Like, that was huge. It went from a 1-for-1 removing the Saproling to them 2-for-1ing our removal and getting a 1-1, you know, reducing their creature. It was a big play for Oppo. Don't see anything I want to capture sphere yet, though, so I'm going to run these out. I liked more info, Croakies. I hear you, but I don't think it was unreasonable to want a little more information about the way the game was going to play out before making a trade there. And with them with open mana and us without. Now, though, I'm with you. We'll do this, and we still have a race in this situation, and we have a capture sphere for anything big they play. And they don't have a double pump, right? We're in super bad shape. Look at this. Kerr is not an unreasonable draw for us in that we can at least threaten to trade with some stuff. I mean, we could capture sphere this. I'm just worried that we're going to see something bigger shortly. But I do like... I'm going to capture sphere, get in some damage, drop the Kerr. Our win condition here might be that they're out of removal and Glidemaster sends a flying Kerr to get there. It's a pretty weak game plan, but we're out of cards and they've got 6. 7. So... we are not getting there on attrition. We are only getting there if they're out of removal and the Kerr happens to get there. But as you see, no chance. I guess we cut the Glidemaster because Kerr can still double pump and trade with the Gourmand, and we might even find another Glidemaster.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
I was like, if their hand is terrible, maybe we can somehow get there, but not looking like it. that kind of eliminates our game 1 chance. Well, I'll attack and scoop. Huh, good timing, Denial. I wanted to give it, we should attack, but yeah, let's scoop that up. I definitely got to keep the red, I think, for removal here. Croaky says need white. What do you mean need white? You said a lot of very intelligent things. I don't see what the need here is, though, but I'm listening. Why do you think we need white? I think we need red. Hey, Nutter. I don't know. I don't know if white was that much more aggro than our blue is the problem. Over what? I mean, I hate that where this is in here. We did this before. We could do that again, I guess. But it's basically a 2-mana cycler versus something clunky or an extra redundant Glide Master. But I made this swap before. I would do that again. This is definitely not what you want to be doing. But to me, this is not what you want to be doing either. So it's like, which thing don't we want to be doing? Are we going to do? I also do like, though, in this build, we could play the Temple for Scry. I think I'll try this. I hear your concerns, Croakies. I just don't think our aggro is even good enough to do the job. I mean, I tried it last match. You saw me. I mean, not that our results there told us anything as we mulliganed to oblivion, but I'm not convinced that white is enough more aggro than what we've got here to overcome the removal side. So that's what I'm thinking. All right. Well, now we can go Glide Master, hold up Denial, and that's much better than when we did that on the draw. So this could have been our 2-mana cycler. That's what we've been running instead. And you can see why. I mean, one argument for the cycler is that at least if you're stuck on mana, for two you can push it on through. But that's literally all it does, except for the prowess triggers. So I totally get it. It's not a sexy play at all. Gonna go shields down though and let him have a 2-drop, but we're gonna hold that Denial up in case of the Skelly. And with all these Glide Masters, I'm gonna go ahead and offer this trade. It'll be telling if they don't take it. That kind of suggests to me that we should expect the 3-drop uncommon Zombie Lord here. Sure. Looks like we are not going to pick anything off here. But not the worst if they want to spend their turn only on that. I would hope that we use our mana, but we didn't. We don't get anything there. Although now it starts to look like we are out of... I mean, we are out of land. And I could play the Cur, but I want to hold up Denial for one more turn. Although, man, they may be playing around it and waiting until they can get one more land out, and then they can actually play the Devotee through the Denial. So maybe I just go shields down here. If Oppo is literally playing around the denial with waiting till they have 4 mana for the Devotee, that's really clever. I am going to go ahead and play the Cur because I think it would be disastrous for us to do nothing here, pass, have Tinkerbell go land, cast Devotee, and do this at us, right? So I'd rather spend mana. Uh-oh, here it comes. Here it comes. But again, if they play the Devotee, we weren't going to be able to counter it anyway. That's why we did this. Did what we had to. Very well played by Tinkerbell. Want to tip the cap there. It's pretty clear Tinkerbell played around Lofty Denial quite successfully. That's a place where we're going to get a lot of worse players, and we're going to win the game because of it. And Tinkerbell made one play around that is likely to win them the game instead. So, golf clap. Now we're tied on mana, though, and that stinks. Thrill is going to hopefully unlock us by pitching one of these here Glide Masters. And I can play the Mountain and get a second... or get the denial up. So we're going to do that. It also shows a pump that could hold the Devotee back. Kind of just no-brainer for Oppo to swing here. They can't lose unless we do something to take out the Devotee. We could block on the Blackguard, force the pump if they don't want to... But they probably just let it happen. We could also just offer a Glide Master, and then they'll definitely just let it happen, though. And maybe tempting them into saving the Blackguard is the way to go, but I don't think that'll work. I think they just accept an upgrade to a 3-2 over a 2-1 is the problem. Yeah, both or none is a good way to think of it. I think let's do both. And now to get the value, they can't really do much else here. Maybe they have a 3-drop they can play, though. Yeah, Imp is a good play. Gonna slag that short sword, yeah. Not with a temple, but we'll see. I think we need to slag the Devotee, though, as fun as it would be to destroy the short sword. So let's go temple, scry. And then, yeah, we want that land for the read. We could wait, though. We could just draw a land naturally later. Land is good eventually, but we might not need to force it. Might need to just... Well, read allows us to block again. I mean, we're going to use the read when we can get a couple of zombies with it anyway. I'll keep the land, but I feel like we may wish that had just gone to the bottom later. And I'm going to go shields down on denial. Unlikely we're going to get anything with denial till we get a flyer going. Just too risky to try and not spend your mana on building the board in hopes that you get to force spike someone on possibly 6 mana. That just seems unrealistic. Almost as unrealistic as me winning this match. Might 0-2 here. It is the game. But I'm going to say no blocks for now. I want to block after we slag the devotee, and that death means something again. But the fact that I want to slag the devotee is why I was not certain we should bring in the island, keep the island. Glide Master. I suppose Glide Master could make something fly and block, but that seems unrealistic too. Just feels like it's all slipping away here, and now we just need to kill too many things. We could... I still think we need to slag Devotee, except then we're just kind of dead. Yeah, maybe we just bounce. Bounce right now. I'm gonna do this. Maybe we get to deny the Gourmand if they go for Devotee first. If we find a land, we wouldn't like that, but we would have Slag plus Lofty at least at that point. And that undoes our plan to counter the Gourmand next turn. Yeah, that dream is dead, unfortunately. Yeah, Devotee does some work, huh? Now, if we got a Sky Scanner, we have the Gourmand counter. Yeah. Well, I guess we do get the slag. We gotta slag the... Oh, we gotta slag the 5/5, right? I mean, we're not gonna be able to counter it now. We're just not. This is a 4 spike, and they have the mana. So... should we... I guess we just need to slag Gourmand. It's just too big in the air. You'd kill the 2/3, but I don't know. Like, we're just dead, right? That's the problem here. The fact that you would kill the 2/3 Croakies and I would kill the Gourmand really just means that we're deader than dead. I mean, there's no winning here when we have 2 must-kill creatures or we die, and we only have 1 thing to kill them with. If I kill the blah blah the blah blah, they can't cast the 5/5 flyer unless they do blah. Okay, well they're gonna do that, and then we lose. That's the issue. But maybe there's outs for if they do resolve the 5/5. We're gonna say no blocks here. Scoop the 3rd match. No, I got better things to do with my time. But you can be nice. If it was off air, maybe I would, but I'm not gonna bother with that. We'll let wizards have their value. Oh, hello. 1, 2, 3. They still have the mana to get out of Gourmand range. Lofty, still not enough. Well, this is... I don't even care about this too much. Well, fortunately, we need to, like, play the auger, pitching everything else, hoping to find something to kill one of these two. But right now, Lofty does nothing. Scoop, I mean... Croakies, we're down a game. I don't know what your master plan for our long match plan is, being down a game, but I love that you're optimistic. All right, there's the capture sphere that gives us something. Now maybe he goes for Gourmand to try and win. And then they Gourmand the token, and then we capture Sphere the Devotee. Why would we be... Does it deal damage? I don't know why I'd be dead if they Gourmand. I don't understand what you're saying. But we'll tap down the token... so that if they attack, we kill the Devotee. I know this means they can now Gourmand and just sack the token, but they were going to do that anyway, even if we capture Sphere the Devotee. Again, we're just all sorts of dead. But for the entertainment value, playing it out. Fighters were... The only thing... I mean... You tell me how this game goes differently if I put the capture sphere on the Devotee. We're... like... we're dead. Yes, every move I make is going to cause somebody to point out how that kills us. And means we were not really on the path to win. Well, here's my... So, Skadoosh says it doesn't go differently, but it has to be more correct to target Devotee if you know the token's being sacked anyway. I was at the point of playing for Oppo mistakes. There was some world in which maybe Oppo decides to attack with their creature they can attack with. I don't know. I was playing to Oppo mistakes at that point. So, nothing. I am going to resign. We can't win anything, and... Surian wants to be generous. I just already answered that. I'm not going to spend my time doing that. You can go ahead, but if there were can you scoop the match? You have to like go to sideboarding and stuff. Like forget it. Somebody else can earn their win. Before I start this though, I should actually let me go to here. Well, an 0-2. All right. I don't know what to learn from that. Maybe we could have had a better deck again if I had not wishy-washied on the red versus white for so long, but it was a tough spot. I was liking the decisions we were making pick by pick, but you know, so it goes. 02. We'll get him next time, maybe. Bye, YouTube.